Take it free. let's take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey, come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway in the heat of the night. Wow! Come on.
everybody.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
May 2023 be amazing and wonderful.
Amen. Oh, yeah.
Don't start with that, Mr. Bob. All right. Oh, good. It's the same year. Bob is here. Everything is the same. All right, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So welcome. Thank you for being here in the building. Thank you for being out there online this morning. Smoke. It's smoke. It's in your throat.
That
Well,
might be bothering
but it
Bless
won't.
you.
But if I cover it, then I can't sage later.
I think we're saged.
6 of 1. Here we go.
I think we're plenty saged.
Here we go. Dome, 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 dome. We have been weighed down by sadness like a stone. We have yearned, we have yearned, we have sometimes felt so utterly alone. While we turn, we've been stricken by the wonder of it all. Stricken down, stricken down. We have sometimes felt so faint we want to fall. Overcome, but all in all, let's say this year in flight together has been fun. What say we make one more circle around the sun? We have raised our fists in anger and we try to work it out, that we need each other, we cannot deny. There is no doubt, there is no doubt. Let us weave another dream in outer space. While we're turning on this planet home that holds our human race. We are still learning, but all in all, let's say this year in flight together has been a good one. What say we make one more circle, one more circle, one more circle round the sun. Oh yeah. All right. Again, welcome everybody. We're so glad that you are here and joining us this morning for Jubilee Circle. And I don't know. I'm getting all my, it's the new year. I don't know where I'm at.
It's all so new.
What I'm doing. Okay. All right. Here we go. We'll try it now. Hey, welcome to Jubilee Circle. Take 276. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate that. Always get moral support over there from Jess. Today we are continuing our ACHSKNYE, Advent, Christmas, Hanukkah, Solstice, Kwanzaa, New Year's, and Epiphany mini via, and our theme is, what are you waiting for? And in this mini via, we've been contemplating, waiting, and exploring why what we're truly waiting for is that moment when we remember who we are and we actually awaken. Today, in addition to being New Year's Day, it is the final day of Kwanzaa, which is an African-American, Pan-African holiday that was established in 1966 by a man named Mawala Karenga to help African Americans and people of African descent across the world celebrate, connect, and learn about African culture and heritage. Kwanzaa celebrates 7 principles, including unity, self-determination, cooperation, economics, purpose, and creativity. The holiday is celebrated with African decorations and music and candle lighting, gift giving, and the word Kwanzaa means first fruits. And its celebrants commit their talents, their first fruits, to community growth and prosperity. What Kwanzaa is really about, though, is how we live our lives in this world, not just as individuals, but within a community. In the U.S. especially, we've been handed this myth about the rugged individual, the self-made person who pulls themselves up by their own bootstraps, don't need anybody else. Kwanzaa, though, recognizes that it's only through community, through relationships and communion with everyone around us, whether we like them or not, is how we really build heaven here on earth. So as we're continuing this ACHSKNYE mini via, let's claim a little bit of that Kwanzaa spirit. And instead of sitting around waiting for the world to change, we become the agents of love that bring true and lasting unity into this world. By stepping into our role, our function as the light of the world, we reflect the values of Kwanzaa. We embody the determination of individuals and communities to come together to cooperate for the greater good for all of us with creativity and one purpose, which is to make God's love and peace manifest in this world. And if we dedicate ourselves to living that higher Kwanzaa consciousness every day in this next year, what you'll be saying every day will be, oh yeah. Please rise as you're able. And as we do every celebration, we remember the 4 elements, the air and the water and the earth and the fire, and we call the 4 directions as a reminder that this is a sacred time and a sacred place, and we orient ourselves in this sacred time and sacred place by calling the 4 directions. And so I invite you to turn and face Of course my battery is dying. All right, hang on. Y'all hang on. Drum solo. Enjoy. All right, maybe that'll work. Y'all really enjoying the East over there. Just keep enjoying the East. Here we go. As each new day dawns in this coming year, Holy One, help us resolve to be like the sun, constantly giving warmth and light to this world. Whether the person basking in that light or warmth, and whether our ego thinks they deserve it or not. Let us resolve not to be stingy with our love, or our compassion, or our care, and instead spread our light and warmth without regard to any label or division that this world seeks to put on ourselves and others. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the south. In this new year, Holy One, help us to resolve to live like the South, where passion and creativity lie. Give us the energy to live passionately into things that we wish to see manifest into this world. Give us a peace for passion, a passion for peace, whatever, for justice, for love and unity, all those things. Teach us new creative ways to bring these holy qualities into a world in need of these gifts. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the west. Teach us, Holy One, how to resolve to live like the West where the past resides. Help us to let go of any baggage, emotional, spiritual, or physical, that weighs us down in this new year. Teach us to forgive those who have injured us, to bless those who walk with us, and to let go of anything that keeps us from being a blessing to everyone we meet or think about. Quarter turn to the right, we face the north. Help us, Holy One, to resolve to be more like the north. This is where the wisdom of infinite possibilities live. As we enter this new year, teach us how to be more creative in our resolutions. We may still want to shed a few pounds and organize the closet, but Holy One, teach us new ways to bring your love and compassion into this world. As we turn back toward the center, you're going to find a bunch of folks who are trying to stay in the presence of the holy this year with differing amounts of success. But as we enter this new year, I encourage you, Jubilants, remember there is no place that God is not, because the Holy lives within. So wherever you are, the Holy is right there. So let our first resolution this year be to find new ways to connect with that inner divinity and bring it out into the world, so everyone gets a chance to say, oh yeah. I think y'all got the sage from earlier, but now we get it up close and personal. Woo, all right. Find my way back here, because we're going to do some amazing sound healing work this morning. So Trisha's going to lead us in that in a little bit. So you see our bowls are all set up, and we're well. There was a good idea earlier that these are our new tithing bowls. So the $100 line starts right there.
100.
The 200 there. We're going to make it work this year at Jubilee Circle, my friends. This is what's going to happen.
We ain't going to need no subletters.
Right. I have lost my pick. Anybody got a pick I can borrow? It'll work. All right. Yes, we're playing music. So remain standing. I got one. I'm good. Remain standing. All these Jubilee picks running around, and I lose my pick. How does that happen? All right. I invite you as we sing to greet one another and wish everybody a Happy New Year. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Me and all my friends were all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing. There's no way we ever will. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who need it. We just feel like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it. So we keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's hard to beat the system when you're standing at a distance. So we keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. Now if we had the power to bring our neighbors home from war, they would have never missed a Christmas. No more ribbons on the door. But when you trust your television, what you get is what you got. 'Cause when they own the information, oh, they can bring it all they want. That's why we're waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. So we keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. And we're still waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. Just keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. One day our generation is gonna rule the population. So we keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. 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 Oh yeah. All right. Would say be seated, but there you are. We know the drill.
They be
We've done
seated.
this, but we've done this before. All right, you have once or twice. All right, welcome again, everybody. Not in 2023. It's a brand new world out there, right? All right. Yeah. The band can be excused.
Thank you.
That's all we're going to do for until the end, until the very end. Y'all can be excused. All right, so a few, just a few.
He only won us for our skills. Even
Well,
Jesus-
yeah. Of course I want you for your skills. And all sorts of things. Right. Everybody's just taking their toys and going home. So we're doing things a little bit different today. There's no sermon song, but just a few words about Jubilee Circle. We are an inclusive, progressive interfaith community here in Columbia, South Carolina, and we teach the timeless common wisdom of love and unity that is found in all mainstream religions, metaphysical philosophies, mysticism, and inspired secular and religious writers throughout the ages. We use popular music, teachings, weekly celebrations, educational and artistic events, other community-building activities, because we're trying to create a space for everyone to experience transformation, so then they can go out and be a transformation in the world. Tricia, if you turn that off, it'll be... That stand is broken, yes. Anyway, back to us. We believe we're all here to expand our souls, to find a deeper meaning in life, to renew our commitment to love, peace, and justice, learn how to love wastefully, undergo a transformation from the inside out to discover how to live into our higher divine self. And they always say, don't perform with animals and children. Don't perform with animals and Tricia. I know, it's all fun. Are we starting the new year right? I mean, is this part of this is just, Mercury is in retrograde now, right? I believe that it is. Anyway, take two. We also recognize we're part of God's good creation. We are formed in love and joy as well as stardust, but we are human, so we forget this. We believe we're lost in this world of paradox, that we're all separate from each other, and then the judging starts. They're beautiful, they're ugly, they're good, they're bad, they're generous, they're stingy, they're loving, and those people are just plain recalcitrant, intransigent, yes. Obstreperous, I like that one. CC and the obstreperous. Obstreperous, yeah, CC and the obstreperous. Do you think that would work? But let us remember our function. Right. Right. If you can have Toad the Wet Sprocket, you can have CC and the obstreperous. Our function here, jubilants, is to make that journey without destination, to awaken to who we truly are and embody and be that channel, that open channel for love to flow through us into the world. So we all get to say, oh yeah. All right. So some things that are coming up this month. Next Sunday is Epiphany, which is when you're supposed to take your tree down, so which is why our tree is still up. We got to do it right? Whatever. So the tree's still up. So next week will be Epiphany, and we will say what? It's not. Oh, yeah. It could be laziness, absolutely. But next week we'll talk about Epiphany. We'll use music from James Taylor and explore why we keep waiting to go home, why we keep saying we want to go home, but we never really do. We're going to talk about that. So movie night is back. So Friday, January 20th, we're going to watch the Disney movie called Soul. That's about a middle school band teacher named Joe. He discovers life isn't going the way he thinks it should. His true passion is jazz, and he's really good at it, but then he travels to another realm to help somebody find their passion, and he discovers what it means to have a soul. This is a great movie. I love this movie, yeah. So come, bring some snacks, curl up on the couches, and join us on January 20th. 6:30, we'll start snacking. 7 o'clock, we'll start the movie. I don't think it's in your bulletin, but I did just book a new living room show. The Water Kickers are going to come. Brody and Kelly Porterfield will be here on January 27th. Their opening act hasn't yet been announced, so more details will come on that, but they're going to do a show. It'll be $10 at the door. We'll provide snacks for a donation and get this living room thing going in the new year. So come and enjoy that show. They're fabulous, and they've got some new music to share. So come and join us for that. And next Sunday, of course, remember Sunday School starts at 10:30, and you're going to get a little taste of what Sunday School is like. We're going to do that after I bore you for about 15 minutes. Then we'll get to that. And then, of course, the Miracles discussion group, always on Tuesdays at 7. Lee McEachern leads that, and it's just an informal discussion group. And we always do the lessons, so we're in the beginning of the workbook. So it's a good time to kind of dive into A Course in Miracles if you haven't been doing it, or if you're Course in Miracles curious, you can join us on Tuesdays at 7. We just sit on the couches over there and enjoy each other. All right. Just a wrap up from last year to let you know. And Lee, I'm going to go ahead and give the appeal for money right now, because I'm just going to talk about our finances. So I'm not going to do that later. Everybody gets the full experience today. I don't want to have to interrupt all that at the end. All right. So our total income in 2022 was $46,324, and our total expenses were $44,545. So we had a total income of like $1,779. So we basically broke even, kids, for the third year in a row. We took a little bit of money out of savings to redo the kitchen back there. And we also took a little bit out to get picks and some other things for giving out when we were doing some booths at Pride. So we spent a little bit of money from our savings, but we've got some money, some contributions from Good Unlimited coming in that's basically going to cover that. So last year was very good. So thank you to everyone who continued to support us, everyone who gave in any way, whether you gave your time or your talent or your money. This is why we're still here. Spirit apparently wants us to keep doing it, so here we are. So if you would like to continue giving or renew your giving for the new year, you can go to jubileecircle.com/donate, and you can find us there online, or you can go to Venmo or PayPal. And if someone wants to pass that basket around, just in case there's anyone who has not had a chance to, thank you, Deb, has not had a chance to put something in the basket for today, that would be great. And thank you so much for everyone who has given. It is really exciting when I total everything up at the end of the year and see that we're still amazingly blessed. So thank you to everybody who gave. Thanks to everyone who continues to give. And there are QR codes back on the. If you don't have cash, you ain't got an excuse. There are QR codes back there on the bar near the coffee machine, strategically placed. If you would like to give through Venmo or PayPal, there's a QR code there. You and your phone can get it done. All right. Are there any other announcements that I'm missing? Anything anybody needs to say before we move on?
I was just going to say, the kitchen looks great, and thanks to y'all who got it all sticky up.
Yeah, Tricia said the kitchen looks great, and it does. If you come and visit, the kitchen does look great. Lee and Beth and Julie made that happen, and Jess, yes, they were in there putting it all together. And Lee had a couple of helpers to bring that behemoth thing in. Mike helped, so yes, thanks to everybody who put the kitchen together. It is so much nicer in there. I am blind to such things, so Beth had to go, no, it really needs, because I'm like, why are we spending all this? She's like, it really, trust me. And I'm like, okay, and she was right, of course, because she's always right. So.
And that's their relationship.
That's what she said, right? This is why I'm happily married. Breathe deeply. Hear these wise and holy words. From A Course in Miracles, chapter 15. God offers thanks to the Holy Host who would receive him and let him enter and abide where God would be. And by your welcome does the Holy welcome you to himself. For what is contained in you who welcome her is returned to him. And we but celebrate God's wholeness as we welcome the holy into ourselves. Those who receive the heavenly parent are one with God, being host to God who created them. And by allowing God to enter, the remembrance of our heavenly parent enters with God. And with God, they remember the only relationship they ever had and ever want to have. So will the year begin in joy and freedom. There's much to do, and we have been long delayed. Accept the holy instant as this year is born, and take your place so long left unfulfilled in the great awakening. Make this year different by making it all the same, and let all your relationships be made holy for you. This is our will. Amen. And oh yeah. Of course, it doesn't say oh yeah. I don't know why. We'll make it say, oh yeah, how about that? Oh yeah. From author and spiritual teacher Marianne Williamson, every thought I think, every word I say, every action I take has an effect on the universe. Other people feel what I'm thinking, whether they're conscious of this or not. Surrendering my life to God is the ultimate taking of personal responsibility, as God is not outside, but within us. In surrendering my life to God, I pray that his love moves into me and through me as a light unto the world. Dear God, today, may I be a conduit for your love. May your peace through me bring peace to all the world. May your light so enter my heart that the world itself is blessed. These are wise and holy words. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Oh, yeah. It's all right. You get a mulligan? These are wise and holy words. To the holy. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. Y'all, this is an anniversary year for me. I moved to South Carolina in 2003. 20 years. If you had asked me in 2003, will you be here 20 years? I would be like, that sounds like a prison sentence. No. I was very homesick for my hometown of Atlanta. I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, it's hot Atlanta, right? I swore that my time in South Carolina would be short, and I would soon be back in the big city. My song that I sang to myself through this whole time was Bad Company's Oh Atlanta. Anybody know that? Oh Atlanta, hear me calling. Nope, I'm coming back to you one fine day. It's not the same song. No need to worry, there ain't no hurry, 'cause I'm on my way back to Georgia. On my way back to Georgia. Oh, yeah. I spent a lot of time in my first few years here driving the roads of Atlanta in my head because I knew I was going to go back, right? I didn't want to forget all of the little shortcuts and the ways of getting around Atlanta that you have to know because it's busy. All right. And if you are a native, man, you know all the really little amazing shortcuts that all these newcomers, they don't know that stuff. So I was driving it. I didn't want to forget. And my homesickness for Atlanta, though, is one example of how, when we are faced with making fairly big changes in our lives, we tend to pine for those old ways of being, old ways of believing or acting or existing. Yet here we are on the day when most of us have a list of resolutions that we've made for this new year. We look forward to the new year as a clean slate, a tabula rasa on which we can reinvent ourselves, live new lives. Now, most of us, according to all the statistics, we're doing things that will affect the outside world. Exercise more, lose a few pounds so we don't have to suck it in while we're up here. So we appear better looking to the world, find ways to make or save more money so we're richer in all the worldly things, give up bad habits, stop smoking, stop drinking, stop eating junk food. We vow to spend more time with those we love, and there's nothing wrong at all with any of those resolutions. But often our goals to improve the things outside of ourselves just quickly fall by the wayside. Why? Well, we're homesick. We're homesick for the old ways. When I used to be a Weight Watcher leader. Anybody know that? I used to lead Weight Watcher meetings, and we would be slammed. The room would be packed in January. I mean, filled to the brim. It's standing room only, man. You felt like a rock star as a leader because you're like, oh, y'all are here to see me. By mid-February or March, it kind of looked like a Jubilee on a Sunday morning. Hardly anybody here. It's the same way at the gym or any other new plan we have for our lives. Only 46% of people are able to keep their New Year's commitments after 6 months. The majority of us find the pull of the old way of living is just a little too strong, and sooner rather than later, we find ourselves melting into the recliner with a chip bag in one hand and the remote in the other, and here we are. Same old, same old. This year, I have decided I'm going to try a different approach to the new year. I invite you to join me, to consider joining me. If you don't want to, that's fine. You can just use me as a guinea pig or a cautionary tale to see if it might work for you. This year, I am choosing to focus on the world within first. Whatever happens out here, I will use that as a call to go inward, to seek to abide first in God's realm of love and joy and peace and innocence. And then and only then will I seek to react to what's happening in the world around me. I expect to fail often, mainly because the call of the old way is so strong. I know, though, 1 month at the gym is not going to give me that physique that I don't have to suck in. That 6 months at the gym might provide. 1 week of not eating potato chips or sugar will not transform the cells in my body the way 6 months or a year of fasting from such food will do. But oh, how I love the couch instead of the gym. How I love the barbecue chips and Reese cups more than broccoli and alternatively sweetened treats. The call of the old way of living, it's strong, and it's strong for one reason. This is where the ego lives. And our ego has exactly zero interest in seeing us get thinner or richer or healthier, and it definitely has less than zero interest in seeing us grow spiritually. Going inside and resolving to stay there, that means death to the ego, so it will pull out all the stops to keep you in this old ego world. And if you make a resolution to go within, you can expect the world around you to become pure chaos. I've seen it already. As I've resolved to do this, I've seen stress, burnout, questioning every single choice I've ever made in my life. This is what the past few weeks have been like. My ego has been on a tear. It has convinced me to torture myself with doubts, with fear, with confusion. And these are its main tools to keep us wedded to its old ways of being and doing and thinking and seeing. That inner world, though, that's where there's clarity. There's no confusion. That's where there's peace and joy and love all the time. There's no second guessing yourself. There's no stress in here. There's no such thing as burnout. Here, you just are who you are. Peace, love, joy. And you can be there because you welcome the holy as your only guide. And by your welcome, our reading in a course says this morning, by your welcome does the holy welcome you into itself. For what is contained in you who welcome the holy is returned to God, and we but celebrate God's wholeness as we welcome the holy into ourselves. By choosing to welcome the holy this year, I am deciding to go deeper within a world that I can change. And that's the world in here. This is where I can clean out the garbage that my ego has convinced me I need to collect. So this year I can clean out the garbage of judgment, the garbage of grievance, the garbage of fear, the garbage of doubt, the garbage of caring what the world thinks, the garbage of anything that makes me think that anyone is better than me or worse than me. In short, I am tossing out anything inside myself that makes me believe that anyone is separate from me. A course reminds us in chapter 11 that we have one clear choice that we need to make in our lives, and sometimes we have to make this choice moment by moment. But here it is. Would you be hostage to the ego or host to God? That's your choice. That's your only choice. When you resolve to become host to God, you achieve real freedom because you welcome reality with a capital R. Because in God's realm, true reality, There's no separation. There's no hierarchy. There's no one better or worse. No one to pity. No one to hate. No one to disregard. Instead, as today's lesson says, we make this year different by making it all the same. This is a call to stop living in the old world of judgments and grievances and comparisons and competition. As course teacher Sean Reagan puts it, our task here is not to seek for oneness, because this ego world will always pull us toward that old world of separation. To heal the separation that we feel in this world, then, it turns on us making it different by making it all the same. And we do that by inviting the Holy Spirit to change our vision of this world, so all we see when we look out in this world is sameness and equality, instead of seeing, as he says, the ego's emphasis on difference and inequality. And the ego protests loudly, of course. It tells us if we see everyone the same, then injustice and inequality will rule this world. But I got news for you this morning, Jubilants. Justice and inequality will always rule the ego's world. The ego's world will never be fair. And when we insist that it must be, we just fuel that world, because that's its fuel. Our resistance, our making it different, judging others as good or recalcitrant just makes the ego run hotter. But this is the miracle that going within offers us. It withdraws the fuel of separation from the ego's world, because we no longer play its game by making it all the same. We deny its power of grievance, anger, hatred, and fear from even entering our world. And if those things are not in our inner world, then we're no longer able to project them into the world out here. You just got to let it rain. There you go. If anger and grievance, hatred, if it's not in the inside, we can't put it in the outside. So the ego is no longer getting its fuel from us. And if enough of us do this, not everybody's got to do this, but if enough of us do this for an extended period of time, you know what happens? The ego dissolves, both within us and in the world around us. Of course, you might think, okay, well, maybe she's just doing spiritual bypass at this moment. So you're going within, you're just going to check out from here, so you're abdicating your responsibility to help ease the suffering of the world. But it's just the opposite. I am taking the only path that will ultimately end suffering everywhere. You may not believe me, of course, but if you're willing, I invite you to give it a try this year. After all, we've tried all the other outward strategies that we can think of to end suffering, right? We've thrown prayer at it. We've thrown money at it. Governments make policies designed to alleviate it and often exacerbates it in the process. We've voted for those who have promised to end it. We've marched in the street demanding an end to suffering, yet here we are, surrounded by constant suffering. So here's my question to you at the start of this new year, Jubilants. What do you have to lose by dedicating yourself this year to going within and making this year different by making it all the same? What do you got to? You've tried everything else. I invite you to try something new, something different. When you make this commitment to dwell in the real world within more and more of this year, we change the world around us for one simple fact. All minds are joined. We are all one in the mind of God. So as we commit to change the foundation of our inner world from fear to love, everyone around us is affected in some way, whether they're cognizant of it or not. As author and teacher Marianne Williamson writes, every thought I think, every word I say, every action I take has an effect on the universe. Other people feel what I'm thinking, whether they're conscious of this or not. Surrendering my life to God, she says, is the ultimate taking of personal responsibility. as God is not outside, but within us. In surrendering my life to God, she says, I pray that God's love moves into me and through me as a light unto the world. Jubilants, if it is true that every thought, every word, every deed affects the universe in some way, that means if enough of us change how we think, how we speak, how we act, so that it reflects unity over separation, how could the world not change? We've tried everything else. Let's try this. For some, going within may feel like an abandonment of your ambitions out here in the world. I mean, you know, we all want to make our mark on the world somehow. The ego tells us it's through some form of worldly success. Go out there and make it happen. But this year, I'm redefining ambition, because my ultimate ambition is to listen more deeply to the universe, to surrender myself to it every moment, to get back to it as quickly as possible when I begin to pine for those old ways of thinking and speaking and being. I'm not, however, and this really is an important point, I'm not doing it with some goal in mind. I'm not doing it to become more spiritual. I'm not doing it to get something. My ambition is simply to surrender to every present moment I am in, and as Williamson says, pray that God's love moves into me and through me as a light unto the world. There are certainly many ways you could make this resolution this new year. There are a lot of spiritual practices, lots of tools out there to choose from. A Course in Miracles has 365 daily lessons in a workbook meant to help you change that lens that you see the world through by gently guiding you to abandon the egoic way of seeing and being and become willing to see the world differently through holy eyes. Lots of forms of meditation. There's silent listening, chanting, sound healing that we're going to experience here in a few minutes, walking meditation, contemplative prayer. You can use affirmations, prayers, inspirational quotes from a wide range of teachers, whatever it is to help you go within, to remind you. As Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh used to talk about, he called them bells of mindfulness. A bell of mindfulness, something to remind you to return to the present moment, where our inner life can be seen and lived so that we can become that channel to be the light of the world. That's what the lesson from A Course seeks to do. They give you slogans, all the lessons. They give you slogans to use during the day when you get lost in the ego's world, because we will. The pull of the old is so strong. But being able to say things like, I can choose peace rather than this, or I am not a victim of the world I see. It can free us from being hostage to the ego and remind us our true function is to be a host to God. In this new year, it is also my ambition that Jubilee will become your training ground, that we will be able to offer opportunities to explore these practices that can help you transform that inner world so you can become the transformation that the world needs. And it's not spiritual woo-woo, it's not spiritual bypass. These are daily, often moment-to-moment practices that require dedication. They require determination, a real yearning to see this world differently, to make it all the same, whether we are perceiving someone we love or someone the ego tells us to hate or disregard. It's been 20 long years, folks. 20 long years that I've been in South Carolina. My poor mother suffered from dementia in the last few years of her life. She was living with my older sister, Linda, and she would say to Linda on occasion, "Where's Candace?" And Linda, bless her heart, would say, she lives in South Carolina, Mama. And Mom would go, "That's not right." And I said, "Linda, you tell Mama she's right." Wake up in South Carolina going, "Wait a minute, this isn't right." That's not right. But you know what? You know what has happened along the way? community. I didn't have a lot of community in Atlanta. I've lived there nearly all my life, and I can name like 5 people that I really spent a lot of time with or got to know. Or a community. I didn't have a community. I have that here. It's amazing. It's cool. Never had one before. This is neat. I don't pine for Atlanta anymore. I've gone back many times, and whatever I missed about that city, I don't think it exists anymore. All the landmarks have changed. I forgot every shortcut I know. Traffic is a million times worse. They could pave all of Atlanta, and the traffic would just still be bad. Oh, 285, that's a speedway right there. You couldn't pay me. There's not enough money in the world for me to go back to Atlanta right now. And this is exactly what progress in your spiritual practice looks like. When we embark upon the journey inward, we're still going to visit the outside world, right? But eventually, it's just not going to enchant us the way it used to. Atlanta doesn't hold that sway over me anymore. I love it here. This is the state I wish to achieve in my inner world beginning this year. I want to love being in the inner world so much that I never again think about living in the ego's world. Just like Atlanta, it's there. I got to visit on occasion, but I'm always happy to go home. We're going to talk a little bit more about this next week, but we're invited to be like those wise men who traveled to see Jesus after his birth. You remember, they went through Herod, and then they went to see Jesus. And the scriptures say they were warned in a dream not to go back to Herod. So they went home by another way. There's an egoic Herod that's always ready to greet us on the old road. We have to go home another way. And the path home, it leads through your inner world, not the one out here. The old world is going to tempt us to go back to it. But for me, in this new year, a new road is open. I'm going to go home by another way. I'm going to journey through the inner world of love and peace and joy that will utterly transform me and utterly transform the world around me. I've already seen it. This is a world I could not create in Atlanta because I wasn't the person that I am now. And this community has a lot to do with my growth. And I want that for each of you in this room, for this community, to be the place where you never look at the ego's world again. It holds no interest. Because that love, that world of love and joy and peace is so wonderful. I will take Marianne Williamson's prayer as my guide this year. Dear God, today, may I be a conduit for your love. May your peace, through me, bring peace to the world. May your light so enter my heart that the world itself is blessed. Oh, yeah. Join me on this ambitious journey if you choose. So this new year will begin in joy and freedom. Oh, yeah. Breathe deeply. I'm going to invite Tricia forward. She can come and guide us in some sound healing and meditation.
Can y'all join us in the chairs and everyone grab an instrument? I'll tell you how we'll be using it. I just wanted to say that I'm grateful to be here to share a sound bath with you. This doesn't have all the instruments that I have next door, but we brought quite a few over to give you a sense of a sound bath. Sound healing is the practice of using sound and frequency for relaxation and healing. A sound session has the capacity to slow down our respiratory rate, relax our brain waves, patterns, and lower our rate of variability and calm our nervous system. When your heart rate relatively is steady and your breathing slows down into a deep, slow rhythm, our stress hormones decrease. During a sound session, we use all 7 chakra bowls. I do not have all 7 over here today. I have a couple more next door. But the chakra bowls actually vibrate at different frequencies. And the ajna frequency bowl vibrates at 852 hertz. The sound from the ajna singing bowls bring brainwave frequencies that can help your brain move into a theta state, which is the state that you're in when you're sleeping or when you're meditating, that REM sleep hypnotic state. And at the same time, vibrations emit from the bowls provide a cellular massage. And everything in the universe vibrates. Everything within us vibrates. So when we think about vibration, even this table has vibrations within it. And it just shows that uniqueness and that oneness that we have with the vibrations of the universe. This morning we're going to start with a thunderstorm, and I'm going to have y'all help me build a thunderstorm. And when I think about thunderstorms, I think about my childhood. I used to love to take a pillow with me and go out in the garage and a blanket and lay down under actually it was a carport, and lay under the carport and just listen to the sounds unfold of a rain thunderstorm. And I can also remember lying in bed, and our front door had this knocker on it, and for some reason every time the thunder would boom, the door would rattle and the knocker would and get a rhythm to it. So to me, I find thunderstorms relaxing. Now, occasionally now with some of the big booms, we know the thunderbolts are a little scary, but I just love the sound of a thunderstorm. And it relaxes me and helps me just go into a sleep if I get a chance to take a nap during a thunderstorm. So y'all are going to help me build this. And we're going to start with our shakers over here. And as I start, I'll point to y'all and our shakers will start. And then we'll move to our next section, which are going to be our rain sticks. And we've got some seed pods over there. And if someone can take on the little frog over here, and there's a little small rain stick, if y'all could grab those, that would be great. The frog, that little stick comes out, and you rub its back, and he sings for us. So that'll be our second section. So I'll point here, then I'll ask y'all to come in. And then we're going to go to our final section, which has louder seed pods and some drums. And we'll build that thunderstorm. And then I'll slowly have us draw back till we come into silence. Okay? Jessica, you're gonna do those seed pods with this group. That's cool. All right, so everybody quietly, silently, and you can close your eyes once I point to you if you want to and get a sense of, but we're going to build it up, the thunderstorm, and then bring it back down, just like the evolution of a storm. All right? So let's start with our shakers. just a little bit of a sense of a thunderstorm for us. Now we're going to set your instruments down and relax and ground yourself. Plant your feet on the floor. And I'll move us into a quiet meditation here. Your mind, emotions, and body are instruments, and the way you align and tune them determines how well you play life. Center your mind and body and spirit in the sound of vibrations of Om to elevate your consciousness, deepen your focus, and build compassion, representing the union of the mind, body, and spirit. Om actually sounds in three-part words of Ah, representing creation, U of manifestation, and of destruction. Om is the encompassing representation of the whole universe joined into one single sound. Breathe deeply with me and sing Om after each breath. We'll do 3 breaths. The next time it rains or storms, allow your body to relax and remember that the rain symbolizes a fresh start. Let it rain inspire you to make changes you've been waiting to make. Let the rain wash away the fear or anxiety you've been feeling. Let the rain put your mind at ease. May I be resilient. As storms rise, may I bend as the grass bends with the wind. Repeat after me. I am resilient. I am brave and strong. I am creative. I am flexible. Namaste. Thank you.
Breathe deeply. Hey, I found my pick. Thank you, Tricia. If that is something that centers you, helps you move within, every Sunday at 10:30 here at Jubilee Circle, Tricia does Soundy School. And so if that is something that has spoken to you this morning, we invite you to come and visit Soundy School and tell your friends. We want a big crowd because this is a way to enter within. This is a way to go deeper. This is a way to put that inside world first as we move out into the world as the light, as the peace and the joy that we are meant to be. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. If I had a band, I'd sing a song. You're going to need a microphone. All right, I got a band.
Okay, so, hello? Hello? Yes.
You're on. Oh.
So, y'all,
We're
we are making a special recording of We All Walk Together today because
hopefully it'll be good.
We're going to have it published soon. And we needed a good recording. So you sing loud, but please no talking.
Well, all right.
Well, I mean, you know,
So y'all remember, thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
don't start yet.
Happy New Year. I'm going to do the talking before they start playing. So Happy New Year. Make this year different by making it all the same. When you look out onto this world, whether you think someone is a friend, an enemy, a stranger, all the same. All thoughts in the mind of God, all equal. There is no one better, no one worse. We are all holy, all innocent. And if you can do that in Walmart this year, man, you are Costco.
Yeah, there's some.
You are a Buddha, and you should go start your own religion. So expect to fail. It's okay. As soon as you just remember and come home. Remember and come home. And the one thing that I have found, I told you, the ego was all over me these past few weeks, been telling me, you've done it all wrong. You've done everything wrong your whole life. It's too late to start over. The one thing I will tell you that I remembered that took me right back home is over there on the wall. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, that will be enough. Because the moment I remembered to go home to gratitude, I was back home.
Right.
So if we say thank you, no matter what, it will always be enough. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's play some music.
Okay, Lee, are we ready?
Well, we're recording, so yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. We all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. We all walk together, hearts and arms open wide. We make our way by walking, and love will abide.
by.
Oh, yeah.
Now go out and make a million.
Happy New Year.
I could do it better.
Well, I really. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.
I'm sure it.
Join us again next week.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,